The all-conquering Crusaders are here for World Series Rugby Game 4, one of world sport's leading club franchises. No less than 8 Super Rugby Championships for this team. And they're up against the Western Force. They're relaxed inside the rooms at the moment. Well, Heath Testman is anyway. An injection of Kiwi brilliance inside the Western Force team as well, with Jeremy Thrush added to the list for the first time. They don't give All Black caps away. He's got 12 of them, Scotty Favour. It's electric here once again, going to be another big night.
Oh, great night. Look at that. Akadaka's playing in the background. I hope there's a bit of thunder in the line too, and these guys going at each other. So it's going to be a really good night.
Jeremy Thrush, how good is he?
Oh, mate, he's great for this group. He's going to pump them up. We can already see it in the warm-up. He's going really well, and you can see the lift in them. They're going to be awesome tonight.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be a really good game. Some say that the Force might struggle to get near them, but not the way they're prepared for this game, as we well know. Different atmosphere here, certainly. Be careful of those fireworks, Scotty, inside the Crusaders rooms, that's for sure, with Danny Orlando.
Well, the Crusaders are in the rooms behind me right now, and I tell you what, they are in the zone. They are pumped for World Series Rugby tonight. We caught up with Coach Scott Robertson a little earlier and asked about the impact that Force debutant Jeremy Thrush will have on the game, and safe to say he was a little coy.
Oh, Jeremy Thrush can play. You know, he's a great signing, good lock, heaps of experience. Obviously, ex-Hurricane, and we've always had some good battles against each other, so for us to play Jeremy, it's good. The boys know him well.
And we've got Sam Longley on the sidelines. Sam.
Well, I am up here with the City of Perth Marching Corps, and they are part of the hype machine that is going to amp up this massive 13,000 strong home crowd. What a great bunch of fans, and we are all looking forward to what is going to be an absolute cracker of a game. It's just electric out here.
And we're back inside the rooms. The Western Force there, ready to go. You can see the boys, they worked so hard in their warm-up. They really did. They were still out on the field when the blackout arrived and the fireworks started. They were working to a plan. I know they're very keen on the first 20 minutes, Scotty. We spoke to Jacques earlier on, one of the assistant coaches, Jacques Ferry, who said it was about the first 20 or 30 minutes, and there's the opposition. Hey, there's a Steely resolve there too, mate.
Mate, that emotion and physical battle from the game against Rebels is going to be in the forefront of their minds. They've had 2 weeks preparation, the Force, but they know they're coming out against the Crusaders, and look at them, they're ready to go.
And here they are, led by Ian Pryor. We'll get a feel for how he goes about it pre-match during the game as well. He's now waiting for the cue, and he will lead the Force out onto the field. Here they come. They're a mean-looking machine. Scotty Favour's noted about that, and they are up against a real quality opposition.
Well, you've got Wyatt Crockett there in the front row, 71 Test veteran, who has come across to WA, and he put his hand up for this game. He wanted to be here, and he's retired from international rugby, but he's going to put in a great performance tonight. And at the back, number 15, Israel Dag. That's a great opportunity for these guys to go up against a couple of All Blacks in the team. 17
players with Super Rugby experience, 4 All Blacks in the team. They have not come here with an inferior group, that's for sure. They do have, it must be said, a number of players in the All Black squad currently playing France, 12 of them in fact, so that's how good they are. Of course, they're on top of the Super Rugby table once again, and interesting to see here that they're in no rush to get themselves going. Michael Drummond, the captain, he's going to do it in his own time. I reckon there was a little bit of a ploy there. We saw against the Rebels, they were made to wait in Game 3 of Super Rugby, not this time. And now the Crusaders prepare for their haka. They've only performed this 3 times. Bryn Hall there leading the Takina Takawa. Only the third time the Crusaders have performed that. And now, of course, in response, the Western Force with their Indigenous warrior dance. So there we go. All is in readiness for this one. The Western Force against the Crusaders. What a contest in perfect conditions with another massive crowd at NIB Stadium. Scotty, we were out there for the blackout. We know what World Series Rugby brings to the table and really looking forward to you calling this one. Sitting alongside Tony Lewis, who joins us for the first time. Good to see you, big man.
Thank you, Mark. Pleasure to be here with you and Scotty this evening in commentary to witness World Series Rugby up close and to watch the Western Force go around against the Crusaders, arguably one of the most successful clubs in the game around the world. Looks like the Force is going to get us underway tonight. Andrew Deegan, the Force fly half with the ball in hand, just waiting for the whistle from referee Will Houston. Extremely experienced referee.
Give us the scoreline, Scotty.
What? Yeah, this is a hard one, mate.
Come on.
I like to say that the Force are going to get on top here, but I'll give it 24-16 to the Crusaders.
Deegan's kick is high. Victor Douglas went up high to get it, but he couldn't get it. No.
Blue.
Early knock on.
Knock on.
Advantage for the Force now as Fergus Lee Warner takes that up. Pryor clears it quickly. He finds Henry Stowers on the burst. Pressing the Crusaders 22 early are the Force. Here's AJ Alatimu for the Force. Rocket Rod Davies dancing through a couple of tackles as they inch closer to this Crusaders 22. Number 3 is Chris Heiberg from the Palmyra Club here in Perth. Quick clearance by Pryor. Finds Jeremy Thrush. Early touch for the ex-All Black.
Holding him.
Deegan getting it wide now is the Force. There's Chris Alcock. And the pick and go.
Well, that was some good play by the Force. Straight away, they're using their forwards up the middle. Look out for Chris Heiberg. Last game against the Rebels, I think he did multiple touches in tight and made some really good metres. And even tonight, that was his first hit up. I reckon he's made 5 to 7 metres. Good work from the tight end.
Bit of a communication breakdown between Pryor and Mussy Duckalwaka there. Scotty?
Yeah, I think Mussy was away, wasn't he? He grabbed hold of that ball.
Would have been hard to stop from there.
Isn't it good? Isn't it great to see the Olympic gold medalist, Mussy, on the wing for the Western Force?
Crouch. Bind. Step.
Short arm penalty to the Force.
Too much effort before the ball.
For the Crusaders going early, so mistake from the Crusaders forward pack. Gives possession back to the Force, and Pryor immediately calls for another scrum just inside the Crusaders 22.
Yeah, good decision there. I think you want to assert that dominance. We've got a good battle in the front row with White Crockett and Michael Alalatoa against Heiberg and Lloyd, and these guys, these young guys from the Western Force, want to show these older bulls what they can do, the scrum. So we're looking forward to this battle.
Mike Alalatoa, originally from the West Harbour Club in Sydney. And as you mentioned, Chris Heiberg's really going to have his hands full with Wyatt Croc, the wily campaigner and ex-All Black.
There's a couple other West Harbour boys in the lineup. We got on the bench there, we've got the All Brothers. We might be hearing a bit more of them later in the...
You've been reading the rundown, Scotland, have you? Yes, we've done a wonderful story with we have with both of the All Brothers, Cameron and Harrison, that we'll have a look at half-time. They are wonderful young men.
Bind. Step.
Good pressure from the force. A huge surge. Looking for the penalty at scrum time is the Western Force, but they probably should get that ball out. It was all a bit slow. And it looks like the Crusaders might have forced a turnover, have they? They have indeed. Oh, that's a missed opportunity for the Force. They'll be spewing about that one. As the visitors now look to work it out of their 22.
And this is the start of the power try. Here we go. But they've kicked it. How good is that?
Has gone out. Deegan thinks about the quick throw. But only thinks about it. And
now, of course, guys, we've got the cash kick in play once again here. And look at that. That's Owen Rhodes and his fiancée, Beck. Owen will be kicking for 10 grand, and he can be kicking to win 10 grand for you as well. If you can do all that. Hashtag code word, hashtag cash kick. You have to send it to us. Make sure you tag in at Western Force. You can use anything you like, but you can be in the running for $10,000. I'll tell you more shortly.
Deegan finding space at the back of the line out for the Force now. Here's Heiberg taking it up. A quick recycle from the Force into the hands of Musi Dukawaka. Fights hard, the ex-Canberra Raider. Still on his feet. Finally he goes to ground. Pryor goes right this time. Finds a runner close to the ruck. Crusaders doing their best to slow the ball down at the breakdown. That one's gone to ground. Deegan's knocked off his feet. No knock on, says referee Houston. Henry Stowers, New Zealand under-20s representative. Gets it back to Rod Davies, who pops a little kick into the 22, and the mark is taken by the Israel Dag.
It's a good little sequence of play. He's playing on here.
Here's that power try opportunity again. We haven't seen a lot of it, but 7 points is on offer. It's worth having a go at, and we know the Crusaders like to take them on.
They've got a great continuity game. They'll move the ball around. They'll have players in numbers in behind, and this is the team that I can see going all the way to the try line.
Yeah, the power try is on. Down the far side, Bedwell Curtis gets it away.
Here we go.
The winger Mata Ale. Oh, inside ball to number 9, Mitchell Drummond, and the captain will go over for the first score of the night. The Crusaders get it done from their own 22.
Look at that, the green light's flashing. Bang.
Look at the score.
Power try.
Bang!
It's up.
Just like that on 7. Now this is what World Series Rugby is about. It's rewarding that. It's rewarding the effort. Don't kick the ball out. Keep it in play. Take them on. Break them open, Scotty.
That's right. You can see the movement of the ball. It's quick, it's sharp, it's going at the line, and it's engaging the defence. And the Western Force just didn't have enough numbers in the line, and look at that support on the inside.
So it's a 9-point try if you can convert. And
where's the power try?
We're not going to miss from there, from directly in front. Everything has worked for the Crusaders here. What a fabulous start for them.
And look, from the Crusaders' point of view, that was the first touch of the ball, and they come out. They've done a 9-point try. Well done, boys. Well, it's going to open up.
They were thinking about kicking out of their own 22, saw an opportunity, went with it, and scored the first power try, if I'm not mistaken, in World Series Rugby.
That's it. That's history, Tone. You were there. You were part of it. Man walking on the moon and first power try in World Series Rugby. You can have one of the two.
Can I change my score? 24 is just not going to be enough.
Oh, hang on. Don't give up just like that. Just one try. Gee, Scotty, you're quick to jump. The first, Tone, you know we're talking in between us is the first ever try scorer for the Western Force. He used to be a favourite son. 5 minutes in, he's jumped off the bandwagon.
I did know that. Big Scotty's a legend around these parts. Dag taking it up for the Crusaders. Comes flying out of there.
Advantage blue, knock on.
Well, the scrum advantage for the Force now as Chris Alcock takes it up hard, as he always does. The veteran breakaway. He comes quickly for Pryor. Deegan offloads to Peter Grant. He evades one tackle. The 5-cap Springbok. Well, they've been stung into action now, the Force. Here's Heiberg again. A couple of carries early for the big tight head. Stowers.
Thank you, one.
Pryor goes himself. Needs support. Crusaders all over that ball.
He's won it.
And they've turned it over successfully.
Turnovers one. Why can't
Pryor just didn't have any options there. after that Stowers hit up.
Unplayable.
And there it is again. Hashtag code word. Scotty, you'll be providing the code word to a home viewer shortly, so wait for that. It's hashtag, insert the code word. Make sure you include hashtag cash kick and hit us up at Western Force. Make sure that's part of your post on Twitter or Instagram, on Facebook, whatever you like. That's all you have to do, and you are a chance to go and, well, you won't go out in the field, but Owen Rose will. And if he can convert, it's easy. We just saw the Crusaders do it. Both he and you could win $10,000 with the World Series Rugby cash kick.
Well, that's a disappointing error from the Force early in this one. They really need to improve their communication.
Steady!
And get bodies into that breakdown to protect their possession. Fitu Douglas off the back, goes left. Out it comes to George Bridge on the left wing. And Dakawaka almost forcing the turnover. Plenty of hands there. Heath Tessman forcing the error. He hacks it ahead. Davies is there. Just needs to pick it up and go, but he's flicked it up for Tessman. Well, that's a heads-up play from the veteran hooker and vice-captain of this Force squad. There's Heiberg again at first receiver, deep inside the Crusaders 22 now, as the sea of blue finds their voice. Fergus Lee Warner. They got numbers right. Thrush finds Deegan. Deegan gets it out to Alatimu. Dakawaka on the far wing, the big Fijian. Inside ball. Has been picked up by Pryor, and he's gone over in the corner for the first 5-pointer for the home team this evening, and that's a well-worked try by the Western Force.
We talked about the Crusaders' continuity, and then bang, the Western Force put it together, went down the right-hand side. Dakawanga, bang, bump off one, get into the corner, good offload. And what about Peter Grant's skills? Ball over the top of the shoulder, straight to Pryor.
And as we look at the replay, we're about to head out to Danny Orlando to talk to the man himself. Just talk us through it one more time before we talk to Ian.
Well, it was big Tess. Tess came out of the line, he put some pressure, good hit, knock on, spilt ball, and we're in behind.
Danny Orlando, over to you.
Ian, an awesome try. But how about that work from Heath Tessman there?
Yeah, unbelievable. And Bash is a little behind the back there. Don't call him the sensei for nothing, so he did well there.
Right, well, let's hope we get this conversion and put some more points on the board.
Absolutely, keep going.
You can tell how hard it's been in the first 11 minutes. He did just score a wonderful try, but it's fair dinkum rugby out there. Hey, Tone, lucky you and I are here. The bloke in the middle jumped ship a minute ago.
We'll keep him honest. We'll keep him honest, Mark.
He gets this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
The
9-7.
The Sensei, what a great nickname for Peter Grant.
He's just so calm, collected. You talk to him on the sideline.
Oh, just shaves that one right. So 4 points still the lead for the Crusaders.
And he's really relaxed, and he just loves the journey. He loves being over here in WA with these boys, and he's excited. And for him, he'll get a lot out of that, and he'll start generating the momentum and the communication from in behind. Pump these boys up.
So Peter Grant, he doesn't miss many, but he misses a few. This Crusaders team, we spoke about it, how good it is, how quality and the depth of this team, it's been amazing. We spoke to the coach about that earlier, Scott Robinson. We might hear that in a little while as well. But, you know, they're taking it to them. We knew they would, and they lead, but only just.
Yep, thank you.
Over it comes to the Crusaders now. Penalty for the Crusaders. That one's against the Force, not rolling away. And it's Chris Heiberg who has been so involved early in this one. So have a look at the...
Starting 15, that's quality. It's quality, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a couple of locks there from the junior All Blacks team, and I think they came across with Scotty into the Crusader squad. So they're a couple of guys to watch out for.
Israel Dag, you mentioned earlier, the full-back, perhaps the best of the lot.
George Bridge, the 11, he was the Rookie of the Year last year for the Crusaders, so he can put some tries on as well.
Mark, you got the front lifter and then straight into the
Okay, interesting position here tone for the lineup as we have a look at the Force team as well, including some of the stars of that. Tessman in the number 2, Ian Pryor, the captain, and Peter Grant, the fullback, who missed the conversion.
Talk about junior All Blacks. You've got the Henry Stowers there too, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
AJ Alatimu, 1 test cap for Samoa.
Shifted across. Haven't presented the ball for defence.
From the Crusaders at line-out time, penalty
Obstruction
to the Force for an obstruction. Well, the 2 Crusader second rowers, boys, Quinton Strange and Mitch Dunshea, both junior All Blacks. Quinton Strange played for New Zealand under-20s when Scott Robinson was coaching, so he's reunited with him at Canterbury. Got the Canterbury contract, and he's only 20 years old.
So you see here, yep, in behind obstruction. And the Western Force have done a lot of work on this over the last 2 weeks. They see the Crusaders, they've shown some dominance in the Super Rugby with their driving more, and it's worked.
Strange just on camera then as Heath Tessman prepares to get us underway again at line-out time. They've responded well to that early try from the Crusaders. Goes Fergus Lee Warner, can't get hands on it though. Comes down for Stander to Deegan. Latimu taking it into contact.
Tackle 10.
Yeah, Ian Pryor appealing for the penalty, and that's fair enough too. Mitch Hunt just too slow to move away from the ball.
There's been a couple of penalties already at the tackle contest, and this is something that we want to clear up and make sure that we're getting the game going and moving and into phase play.
Not a great kick from Grant. That one hasn't gone out. Manasa Mataele taking it up the right edge. Oh, huge hit. Oh, it's huge contact in midfield by the Force. Looking for the turnover. That's some real energy from the home team. Need to get it out now, do something with it. Heiberg with the pick and go. Just inside the Crusaders 22 now. What a fantastic tackle. Tackle from Thrush and Stowers working together. Great stuff. Here's Alcock. We know he's got speed if he can get into space, but he's just taken around the ankles. They keep it tight. Tessman taking it up, desperate to get it away. Hands off to Stowers now. Henry Stowers battling for every inch. Here's Fergus Lee Warner from the Eastern Suburbs Club in Sydney.
Advantage.
Very scrappy at the breakdown, but the penalty advantage now for the Force. Back they'll come as Bedwell Curtis.
Not clear enough. No clear release.
Thought he spotted an opportunity there, but the penalty goes to Western Force at the breakdown.
I talked about Thunder, and here we go. Bang. Bring Stander and Alcock, the 2 back rowers. Great hit. That's going to provide the forward pack with a bit of motivation to get in there, get into these Crusaders forward.
That was just sensational defence, and that's the sort of energy they've got to bring tonight, Scotty, if they're going to get the job done against this Crusaders outfit.
It's a frenetic start, isn't it? I talked about it, I referenced it earlier. Jacques Furey said that it will be a physical first 10 to 30 minutes. We need to be in their faces and shut down their space. That was the message from the coaches, and that's what they're doing.
Taken by Thrush. As the Force forwards now look to get their rumble on. Tessman has it at the back. As Rod Davies joins the maul. A couple of other backs coming in. Trying to get that forward momentum going. The Crusaders using all their wiles in defence. They stopped the maul. That's great defence by the Crusaders now. And the Force had to use it. Stowers throws the little dummy. Goes himself. Oh, here's Heiberg again. He loves the run, doesn't he, big Chris Heiberg? Lee Warner with the pick and go from the back of the ruck. A little bit isolated though, but they're there to protect possession as they inch closer. The crowd making some noise now. The knock on from Rod Davies. Unfortunately brings that attacking raid to an end for the Force. But on the far side goes Douglas, I think, but he's bundled into touch. 13 for the Crusaders is Seta Tamani Valu. He's bundled into touch. Oh, gee, they're a dangerous side, this Crusaders, aren't they?
Yeah, indeed. If you're going to control the ball like that, Western Force, you've got to make sure you've got people in numbers in around.
Okay, we heard from Scott Robinson earlier about Jeremy Thrush. What about the depth of his squad?
We want a test. We want the ability for a young group. You know, we've got 17 super players, we've got 3 international players, got the most kept super player of all time here. So we're up for a good game. I know they're passionate, and it'd be a cred to boot, so he can support it.
There he is. He's a passionate man himself. He's a bit of a cat, isn't he, Tone? A little bit like yourself. He can do a few things that are a little bit out of the ordinary. I like it.
Don't know if I'd call him a cat, mate. He's a legend, though, in the game for sure. He's a very, very hard man, Scott Robertson.
Yeah, you're a brave man there, Mark.
Oh, that's a term of endearment. You need to know me better. Now, an injury time here, not a massive drama here by the looks of things to Chris Heiberg.
Well, I noticed he was receiving a little bit of medical attention a few minutes ago, so let's hope the big fella is okay, because he's been very active for the Western Force early here at NIB Stadium tonight.
Yeah, I love the way he gets around the field. Big tight end prop, and then he scrummages well as well.
Must quickly say hello to all of our friends in New Zealand too. We're of course live here in Perth on Channel 7, live right around the country on Fox Sports, and also live in NZ.
AJ Alatimu dropped the ball behind him, says referee Houston. No knock on. Fergus Lee Warner snatches at it. Just like that, it's been turned over again as Damani Valu takes it up for the Crusaders now. You just can't turn over ball to these New Zealand sides, particularly this one. Quentin Strange hands off to Chris Heiberg. So the mistake from Strange gives possession back to the home side. Here's Henry Stowers, taken low by Mike Alalatoa. In fact, Alalatoa's tackle has forced the knock-on from the Western Force.
It's just too many errors for the Force in a short period of time. What you get from the Crusaders is they're a very clinical team. They'll move the ball around. They do make errors, but they show it in terms of the continuity of the game, and they try things. But at the moment, the Western Force, every time they get the opportunity, they're bad pass, drop ball.
Let's listen in to Will Houston here.
Yeah, I'm just saying close up too quickly, all right? Yes.
And he's talking to his assistant referees there. We can't hear that, but they work so well together. They really do. And it's a great insight to be able to go in tight, hear the ref, and hear them set up like we're about to now.
Yes,
Crouch! Bind!
And only 1 minute to get this right.
60 seconds to get it right. That's one of the innovations of World Series Rugby, and it's one that I like a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, before I'm going to go for anything else.
Will
okay?
has to
Down
be
hole.
a bit tougher here. We've had a chat. We're now having a second one. Pick a penalty out. Scotty?
Well, indeed. World Series Rugby is about increasing the amount of time the ball is in play.
Yep.
And we've increased it by 25% from what Super Rugby's given us at this point in time. So, let's get on with it. Let's get a penalty, and let's move the ball away.
Set!
Going down again.
He's got to pick one now. Here we go. What's he got for us?
Good gap, but I'm seeing you flatten out, so I'm sitting this side. Same mark.
He's going to reset it again. It's all about safety, of course.
Yep.
And it's his job as referee to make sure safety is observed at all times.
It is a fine line, isn't it? And of course, safety is always going to be 1, 2, 3 in terms of priorities. But that's why I think in the early stages, if it falls and there's a penalty that can be picked, you just give it, and the game has to move.
Bind!
I tell you what, though, 20 minutes in, 9-5 Crusaders lead. They're happy to have a spell. It's been frenetic, hasn't it?
Sure has been. Oh, the missed strike from the Crusaders there, and the arm goes up.
Knees, number 1. Number 1 to his knees.
From Will Houston, and that one's against Harry Lloyd for losing his footing at scrum time, and so an opportunity now for the Crusaders to punch it deep
Number 1
into Force
collapsing on his
territory.
knees.
Harry Lloyd, originally from Nowra, New South Wales, plying his trade in the Golden West.
It's not out.
Not out. The kick from Mitchell Hunt. What can the Force do with it now? Not a terrific response.
They send it out. And let's go down to the sidelines now. Sam Longley is with Owen Rose, whose job it is to kick for not 10 but 20 grand shortly.
Well, I'm on the sidelines here with Owen and Beck, and now Owen, you're going to be kicking the cash kick. 10 grand for you, 10 grand for a home viewer. Have you got plans? Have you got plans for the 10 grand?
I'll probably pay for the wedding.
The wedding, you guys recently, he popped the question, where were you?
Dampier.
Dampier. Good stuff. Now, have you done any practice? Are you prepped for this?
Yeah, to be honest, I think I broke my toe yesterday trying to kick off a real hard tee.
Oh, well, mate.
It's quite swollen anyway.
Well, good luck with it. We're hoping all the best for you. Cheers.
A try for the Canterbury Crusaders. Mitchell Hunt going over on the short side from a very, very well-constructed ball coming from their line-out. Well, Western Force were just cut open pretty easily down that blind side, Scotty.
Yeah, sucked in there. Nice cut-out ball, someone in space. And just on the inside, we've got Mitch Hunt going over in the corner. Just defensively, we just didn't have Massey in the right position.
Yeah, too many numbers on that left side from the maul. Well, Mitchell Hunt's thought originally he called them around to the left, and George Bridge with the inside ball back to Hunt. Moves them to a 14-5 lead with a kick to come.
I think if I was Ian Pryor here in the huddle, I'd be like talking about our mistakes. I'd be talking about how we're giving ball to the Crusaders and giving them opportunities to move down the field. So that's one of the areas they've got to work on coming into this next restart.
Hunt looking to add the extras to his own try.
Takes an eternity. There is a clock on this as well.
Oh, no problem with that one. 16-5. The score here at NIB Stadium. The New Zealanders on top.
That was the location of the cash kit last week, wasn't it?
It was pretty similar, Scott, you're right. It was pretty similar. I think it might be an easier kick for Owen this time. So once again, stand by. You're going to produce that code word in just a moment, Scotty. So hashtag the code word that Scott will give you. Make sure you include hashtag cash kick and at Western Force. That's all you have to do. Just follow the prompts there that you can see on the screen and you're a chance. Now, will they go all the way again?
Good chance.
Andrew Makaleo, the Crusaders hooker, with a touch there.
Let's see the response from the Force. They need to put some action in, move up off the line.
Drummond calls them up. He kicks out of the box. Someone needs to be there for the Crusaders, but for the Force. But George Bridge, the Crusaders winger, was there and gets it back for his team. Well, the Western Force just not reacting quickly enough. Well, I thought that turnover was good by AJ Alatimu.
Not a strong position. 12 diving over.
Yeah, he's caught him off his feet.
Yep.
That's a good grab in behind.
It is. It's a good go. Great pitches too.
Outstanding work by Bridge, the Crusaders left winger. Hunt looking for distance on his kick. Rod Davies does his best to keep that in play, but he's unsuccessful.
We talked about Ian Pryor and his captaincy. We had a mic on him pre-game. Let's have a listen.
Stay over it here, Moth. Stay over it, nice. Easy follow through. There we go. That's the one. Tough to catch. So make sure we bring that energy, that intent starts now. Don't wait for someone else to bring it. You bring it yourself, okay? Starts now. Here we go.
Here we go, boys. Here we go, boys.
Fast start on 3. 1, 2, 3. Fast start. Here we go.
So Pryor's team under pressure now, Tone.
Oh, Crusaders working through the phases off the line out, but looking to attack that left side again. Force defence holding up. George Bridge taking it up for the Crusaders now. Drummond finds big Michael Alalatoa at first receiver, just patiently going through the phase play. Here's Poihipi, Rameka Poihipi. They go left this time. There's Quentin Strange. Blackadder hands off to George Bridge. Oh, the Force under extreme pressure. Mitch Dunshea taking it up for Canterbury. Comes for Hunt. Short ball to Bedwell Curtis. Number 7 tackled 4 metres out.
9 blue offside.
What about the recycle? It's so quick. Hunt gets it wide all the way out to Matalea. He can't handle it though. Rod Davies
come to me, Will.
Went high looking for the intercept, but they were playing under penalty advantage.
Offside, pillar.
There you are.
So we'll go back for a Crusaders penalty.
That's just a continued pressure from the Crusaders. They came in tight,
Number
and then the
9.
ball movement out wide was just too much for the Force. They couldn't get back quick enough, and they were offside.
And the Crusaders immediately call for the scrum, as you would if you were going to pick a position on the field to attack from set play. This would be it, Scotty Faber.
Oh, it's a great position. You can go any way with the number 8, the 9.
That's the picture all
You can
day.
go into an 8-9 into a left-hand side starter play, or you come in right. There's plenty of positions for them to have a crack.
So we saw again the captain Ian Pryor there. It's a tough one here for he and his team to defend. Giving some orders. Do you try and second guess, or how do you prepare defensively?
Defensively, you've got your defensive system, so you've got to trust that each man moves up into his zone, and you've got support on the inside from the forwards, particularly the flankers, pushing the line out. This is where you've got to go man on. You'll see the fullback in the line. Peter Grant's on the edge.
3 blue.
Free kick to the Crusaders. They waste no time. Here's Mitch Hunt again. Tackled well, though, by Brad Lacey. Round the corner comes some more ball runners for the visitors. Mitch Drummond barking orders at the back of the breakdown. Oh, they must score! Well, Peter Grant had fingers on it.
Knock on.
And the knock-on has been called. He's not going to get penalised for a deliberate knockdown. That was a fair attempt at a catch.
Line out or scrum. Option.
He'd be dirty with this one.
Number 3. Not holding.
Well, Israel Dag probably could have scored himself from there, Scotty.
Second to work out what this is.
He almost had it in the mix. It was just a little short ball. Grant was out of the line. It would have been try time.
Yeah.
So there's a little lesson for all the kids at home. The double knot, always go with the double knot. Pressure situation to be going down doing that business.
I believe you're close to the gap.
I'm always doing the double knot for my kids. Just on that, I just want to say happy birthday to my little girl, Poppy. She's 11.
Oh, happy birthday, Poppy. It's not all about Dad, but we'll say happy birthday to you.
Well, she gave me special permission to come over here on her birthday weekend or week.
Bind!
Can they power this over the line?
Oh, this is what they'll be trying to do. Assert that dominance. Wyatt Crockett.
Advantage.
They sure
Number
can.
1.
Oh, my
Angle
goodness. Another penalty advantage for Crusaders. Douglas off the back now. Out it goes to Tamani Valu, the big outside centre, gets tackled only about 1.5 metres short of the line. Ethan Blackadder. Blackadder for the line. Will Houston having a very close look.
Held up. No advantage.
So back will go for the penalty. While Blackadder held up over the line, but the Crusaders get another chance.
Number 1, angle and down.
Amazing defence. We talk about it a lot. Sport can be a game of inches. That looked like millimetres was the difference there.
Well, Will Houston was in there. He had a good look at it. He saw that it was held up. Very close. Blackadder.
Ethan Blackadder, son of the great Todd. All Black legend and Canterbury legend also. And also long-time coach of the Canterbury Crusaders.
That wouldn't be much pressure, would it? Following in the old man's footsteps.
Gee, look at that. A mass of humanity on the line.
Crusaders forwards rumbling it to the line. Harry Lloyd in there with his hands all over that ball because he knows it's a maul.
Collapse. Blue.
And they force the turnover. Well, that's good defence from the Western Force. Harry Lloyd, the loose head prop, as soon as that ball was called by referee Houston, went in there and clamped down hard on the ball.
We've seen some great refereeing, must be said, some great defence. Hey, Scotty, we're 31 minutes in. We need you to give the listeners the code word for the cash kick at home. What is it?
Your outside shoulder go
Hashtag airtime.
Airtime. I can never work out your thinking, but I reckon I've got this one because last week Kieran didn't get any airtime with his kick. Is that what you've come up with?
Mate, it was terrible, wasn't it? I hope Owen's got some boots on this time.
Owen will be a lot better. So there you go. Hashtag airtime, hashtag cash kick. Make sure you tag in at Western Force. Do it now, and you could soon be watching the tally to win 10 grand. Tony Lewis, can you believe it?
Unbelievable.
Crouch.
Kicking for cash, I love it.
Bind.
Wouldn't mind a crack at that myself. All right, so here's the scrum for the Force. They must keep this solid, not give away a penalty. Pryor hands off to Dukawaka. Trying to create a bit of space for his kicker. Here's Deegan with the kick now, looking for touch. Hasn't gone out though. Crusaders, what can they do? Was that a knock-on from Israel Dag? No, it wasn't.
Good pick up. Good pick up.
Hands off from Mataele. He's gone straight through. Manasseh Mataele. Oh, the ankle tap from Andrew Deegan. Well, poor defence from the force. Crusaders surge into their 22 again. Oh, huge hit that time. From one of the smallest blokes on the field, Andrew Deegan. Really gets the job done. Henry Stowers taking it up.
Knock on by White, then Blue first.
Oh, a couple of knock-ons. First one by Canterbury.
And look at Mataele, straight through. Good left foot step and a bit of an offload here. Oh, no, knock on there. There it is.
Desperate work from Deegan. Absolutely desperate work. We saw Ian Pryor giving him a couple of hints earlier on about his kicking. Well, he doesn't need many with his tackling for what you called him, Tony, for one of the smallest blokes out there. Pound for pound, he's as tough as they come.
My word.
When we're ready, White. He's
Young
back.
number 10.
Blue.
From the Randwick Club in Sydney's East.
There's Adrian Barrage of Channel 7 fame. His big wheel here in Perth is Barra. Hello, and he knows it too. Hello, Barra. Of course, he played rugby, not so much union, but league in amongst it all, and a VFL career, an AFL career, or it was. He's pretty old. VFL career back then as well. So down on the $1,000 seats down there, $1,000.
$1,000
to sit with Barra.
Wow, how good.
Not bad. What are these seats worth, by the way, to sit with Tony and you?
Mate, these are the airtime seats.
These are priceless seats.
Crouch. Bind.
Inside the scrum, look at that.
Well, Harry Lloyd really having a hard time on this side of the scrum against Alaalatoa. But against all the odds, the Western Force defence has maintained their line. Scotty Faber, they've prevented the try so far.
Yeah, it's good defence. I'm just listening to Mike then, Alaalatoa. He's made the excuse, a bit of dew on the ground. Mate, get a bit closer, buddy. Once again, I'm a guru on scrum, so I'll be watching intently.
Crouch.
On this next battle.
Bind.
Here goes Harry Lloyd on Mike.
Set.
Need to get that
Available
out. Big
play.
surge from the Crusaders. They are successful with the force.
Touched.
There's the kick from Pryor to the hands of Israel Dag. Strong carry from the All Black. Here comes for Drummond. Hunt fires it on quickly to Dunshea. Matalea again. Geez, an elusive runner, isn't he, the big winger? Western Force
Balls up.
competing ferociously, looking for the turnover again.
White going forward, unplayable scrum.
Well, let's give possession back to White, but it could have gone either way.
It was a tough one. I thought the ball was off the ground.
You can hear Ian Pryor there, just offering encouragement. It was bad luck, but the key part of that sentence was the well done. They are really under siege here. We can see on the clock there, half-time not too far away, and they need it, the Force, don't they? They need an opportunity to regroup, and they need to get the ball.
Yeah, indeed. They're letting guys like Mataele get in behind the line. He's elusive, he's strong, and he's devastating, so you can't let that kind of guy run. Just a trivia question on him too. He's out there with his uncle. Do you know who his uncle is?
No, I've got no idea.
Trivia question. Maybe we leave that for a bit.
We're going to 10 grand on that, or do you just want to give us the answer now?
What he's playing with his uncle. His uncle's in the team, you're
Yeah, his
saying?
uncle's in the
Crouch.
team.
Well.
Number 13.
Bind.
Tammy Valu.
Tamani Valu.
Yep.
Well.
That's his uncle.
That is a trivia question I would never have guessed in a
You
thousand years.
do bring a lot to this commentary box, don't you, Scotty Faber? Here they go again.
Great research. Mataele, the man in question, gone backwards, says referee Houston. He's tackled from behind. Tamani Valu, beg your pardon, AJ Alatimu hard on the ball. Forced the turnover though. It comes to Hunt. Through the hands, not a great ball to Douglas. He spilled. That's Tamani Valu. Spilled it forward and puts a big hit on Harry Lloyd.
Hands, Ruck's ball.
Yeah, it's got to be a penalty to the blue, which it is.
Geez, Tamani Valu really whacked Heath after he spilled that ball. There's a bit of anger in that. Jeez, bang, turn around. Oh, yes. Take that.
Poor old Heath Tessman wearing the irritation of Setter Tamani Valu.
Okay, this is where the Force need to get their execution right. They've used the ball in tight and then moved it wide. Maybe if they start working a bit more tighter and the wingers coming in and helping and getting in off the halfback, we can see some maybe gaps. The Crusaders are doing that really well, and the introduction of the wingers into attack, something the Force have got to start utilising.
Good sack. Sack's legal.
Nice clean ball for Jeremy Thrush. Out it comes. Pryor gets rid of it quickly to Alcock. He's stopped by Andrew Makaleo. Left side they go is Heiberg. Crusaders up very, very quickly in defence. It can go from Henry Stowers. A little bit slow for the Force though. Here's Lee Warner, smashed backwards in the tackle by Dunshay. Round the corner comes Stowers again. He's flung to the ground with authority. Trying to get it a bit wider, but it's been knocked on, I think. No call from the referee, no knock on.
13 white offside, advantage, 13 white offside.
All right, penalty advantage now for the Force. What can they do with it? Here's Jeremy Thrush, working hard, the ex-All Black. Pryor looks around, gets it to Deegan on his right. Deegan with the kick. Here comes Rod Davies. Oh, he just had to pick that up. He was over for all money.
Will on me.
It almost bounced up into his hands.
Well, the little speculator from Andrew Deegan almost came good there for Davies.
Did you hear the crowd? White. How good are the crowds tonight? What do we got? 15, 16,000?
Yeah, there'll be 15 plus. They're educated. They know their rugby here. And it's not just rugby fans. That's the beauty of World Series Rugby. In amongst there is a lot of blue. We call them the Sea of Blue here in Perth. But there is a lot of just sports fans, general sports fans that love world-class sport, elite-level sport. And that's what's been brought to the table tonight.
And there's a fair bit of red out there as well. And this is great. This is what World Series Rugby is about. Getting the Crusaders fans involved in such a great spectacle.
So the Force electing to kick for points. Only about 60 seconds out from half-time here at NIB. Peter Grant lining up the kick, and if he's successful, that'd put him into the Shez 16-8. Just an 8-point lead, which, given the amount of pressure they've been under, is not a bad result for mine. Important kick for the Force. No problem with that one. Up go the flag. 16-8 is the score as we approach half-time.
Oh, there we go. That was important. It was a good call. Strategically, I think a good call. He's had harder kicks, but a little bit of pressure on there because he didn't want to go in. Peter Grant having missed that one, having missed the early conversion, and have Tim Sampson with a few words to say. Certainly, 8-16 is a lot better than 5-16 that it was just a moment ago, and we are right on the verge, of course, of half-time, as you can see up on the scoreboard as play resumes. So not long to go now, 16-8, the Crusaders lead right on the siren after the restart. They went deep. Advantage. They'll finish the play, of course. The advantage calls there. Is there time?
Yeah, that's for the high tackle. Chris Heiberg taking it up, trying to get it out of the 22.
17.
I'd like to see him have a crack here. It's what World Series Rugby is about. And the power try. But he's going to kick it out.
So that's it for the first 40 minutes. 16-8 is the score here at NIB Stadium. The visitors on top.
An amazing half of rugby. It really was. The Crusaders away with the first ever power try. Amazing work from Drummond to get the 9-point lead before they'd got going. We can go down to Jeremy Thrush right now, making his Western Force debut, the All Black All-Star with Sam Longley.
So, Jeremy, Crusaders for your first game. How does it feel playing with your countrymen?
Good. You know, a few familiar faces out there, so it makes it a bit easier doing your homework.
Yeah, of course. Now, mate, you bring a bit of experience to this team. How does the leadership role sit with you?
Yeah, it's not too bad, to be fair. I don't really have to say too much. We've got some good voices in the group at the moment. just go out there and try to lead by example, get up off the ground a bit quicker than some of these young fellas and put the head down and go to work.
Nice one. I think they're all looking to you for that. Now, mate, look, we always knew it was going to be a pretty tough game. So what are you going to take into the second half?
Oh, look, to be fair, the things they've done we were ready for. We did our homework on, but we just didn't really execute, you know. They made that a pretty good counter-attacking team. They made that slice through our D off the kickoff. And then it's just looking after the ball inside their half, you know. Build pressure through penalties, through scoring tries. If we can do that, you know, we'll stay with the sniff and, you know, try to crack and get over top of them.
Good stuff. Have a good one. Cheers.
There we are, the big man that has joined the force, Jeremy Thrush. The firewalkers were out there, and there was some fireworks as well that came from the Crusaders with that first score, the first ever power try in World Series Rugby to Drummond. Outstanding it was from the number 9. It's half-time now, and the Crusaders lead 16-8 World Series Rugby, Game 4. Western Force back out on the field. The Crusaders will join them shortly, and it's the visitors that lead. They were the raging favourites going in, got away to a flyer with a power try to begin proceedings, and here they come back out for the second half with a 16-8 lead. Lots going on here at half-time. Scotty Faber, we talk about World Series Rugby. It's about lots of things, excitement and entertainment and fireworks and fabulous fast-flowing footy, and giving away 10 grand, not just to someone on the field who kicks a goal, but someone at home. Natalie Cussell, we haven't heard from Natalie yet. In fact, I think we might have just got onto her. And Owen Rose as well, who did it. Natalie says very excited and surprised. Her partner Lee is a fan, and he's a very good kicker. She wanted him to be there to do it. Well, Natalie, you didn't need any help. Owen got you the 10 large.
Well done, Owen. Doing it for the people. And the crowd were going nuts. This was it was a great spectacle. It was good fun, and the backflip. Well done, Owen.
Second point dirt, point of difficulty there.
Many talents. Time on. Look at it at the wedding.
Mitchell Hunt's going to get us underway for the second 40. Well, Dukawaka didn't even need to touch that. It would have gone straight out, I think. But the big Fijian had a grab at it, as you probably do. And it's Crusaders line-out.
There's little things, like there probably should have been someone in the back behind him talking to him and going, leave it, leave it, leave it. You know, it's very hard. Like, this is what the team's all about. You've got people in different positions, making sure that you've got communication along the lines.
52 Douglas takes it cleanly at line-out time. Round the corner comes George Bridge. Bridge finally tackled. About 6 metres shy of the try line. The quick recycle. Here's Makaleo, the hooker for Canterbury. Trying to get it wide. There's space in the corner. Mataele goes over in the corner. Let's have a listen to Will Houston.
Checking touch? Yeah. Okay. Time off. On field try. Kyle.
Okay, what do you think, Scotty?
Yes, Will.
On field position try.
Yeah,
checking
good dive.
touch and goal.
So I think he's got it
Confirming
in.
on field, this is a
just have a look
try,
at the
checking
replay
touch
here.
and goal.
You can hear the TMO, technical ref.
And the grounding looks good.
We'll wait for the all clear, but you say try.
I say try. We're just looking at the foot. And that's good as well.
Yep.
Can't be touching the line.
No. Once it touches the line, that's it. Out.
Looked from that angle like there was a touch on the line with the orange boot, but not when we were looking behind.
But you can hit the corner post, so that is not out.
Okay, here we go. Will Houston still has a problem.
Checking out the grounding now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's okay.
Will,
Yes, Kyle.
you can award the try.
Thanks, mate.
Try is given. So right after the half-time break, Crusaders score a quick one. They move to 21, Western Force 8. That's what they call the championship minutes. Scotty Faber, the 10 minutes before and after half-time.
Yeah, it is. And every team talks about it, and everyone puts a plan into action to really lift during those times. And the Crusaders, they've come out on fire. It was a missed tackle in early. George Bridge made a great line break. An awesome follow-up with Makaleu. And into the corner. Good over-the-top pass from Hunt.
Well, and it all started with the mistake at the restart by the Western Force, unfortunately. So Mitchell Hunt now It's a difficult conversion attempt, but it is on his favoured right side.
It's so disappointing for the Force. They would have gone into halftime 16-8, really happy with the scoreline, considering...
A great kick. Oh, it's a super conversion for Mitch Hunt.
Yeah, considering they didn't utilise the ball how they wanted to, they left a lot of opportunities out there on the par, yet they only trailed by 16 points to 8. So this would be this is a difficult situation for them now.
15 points now. It's the amount that the Force need to make up if they're going to stay in this one. Deegan kicks it deep. Been taken by Israel Dagg. Plenty of time for the All Black to pump it to the sideline. Peter Grant with it. Thinks about the quick throw.
This is great to see Israel Dagg back from injury. He had stem cell cells implanted into his knee and drilled in, and all the blood is healing his cartilage.
Really? It's amazing. Yeah, it is good to see him back. Most exciting players in world rugby. Finally, Testman lets it go down the back, taken by Thrush. Pryor finds Davies to Deegan. Well, here's Rod Davies. He gets it away to Dakawaka. He can't hang on to it, though. Unfortunately, so the set play from first phase
went forward into touch, Will.
doesn't go well for the Western Force. Dakawaka, not a great ball from Davies.
Yeah, and it's hard, like timing. Dakawaka off Davies. It was his first game back, so these little things they've got to iron out over the time of the World Series Rugby.
So the Crusaders surge back into attack now. Here's the hooker, Makaleo, taken low by Pryor. Here time for Drummond to have a good think about what he wants to do. So the Crusaders look to put it through the hands.
Still playing advantage.
There's a chance there for AJ Alatimu to grab the ball, but
yeah, there's no one supporting him.
No one supporting him. Exactly right. Here's Ramika Poihipi. Ethan Blackadder takes it himself from the back of the ruck. Drummond has a good look, goes short side. Here's Hunt.
League 7, missed it.
Tackled right on the 22. And the Crusaders just getting that with the 1%ers right, as you'd expect.
Knock on White.
Yeah, gone forward by Crusaders. Chance now.
Over.
The kick from Deegan goes into touch after ricocheting off a Crusaders player.
Yeah, have you seen Harry Lloyd out there? He ducked out of one of Hunt's swinging arms. I think it clipped him on his nose. Wouldn't be happy about that. Number 10 having a crack at him. Okay, this opportunity for the Force here in the Crusaders. Oh, close to the 40-metre line.
Knock on advantage.
Well, they can't hang on to that. They've knocked it on at line-out time. So that'll be a Crusaders scrum. Thrush and Lee Warner. Bit of a breakdown in communication.
Yeah, once again, we're talking about the timing. Thrush is in. We've got to execute those lifts into the throw.
The key message was keep the feet up, the height stays up, and you paint a good picture. Paint a good picture. That's all I ask for. Yep, that's our mark there.
Paint a good picture. What about that as an instruction from referee Houston?
Keep working on staying straight.
In a lot of other sports, he would get an interesting retort, but not in this sport. The respect for the athletes, for each other, and for the officials.
I think he was basically pointing to the fact that he didn't want him flattened out face first, like the parachutists that came in just before the game started.
2 Douglas hands off the back to Drummond, gets it away quickly to Bridge. Around the corner comes Ethan Blackadder. Number 20's out there for the Force.
Johan Bartels come on for Fergus Lee Warner-Tone.
All right, Poihihi hands off to Mataele, looking for another one. Back inside to Ramika Poihihi to his captain, Mitchell Drummond. And Drummond goes over for another try from the Crusaders. Well, they're finding space down that right edge. And Ramika Poihihi combining well with the winger, Manasa Mataele.
So all of a sudden, it's 28-8 World Series Rugby Game 4. Broke him open there, broke him open quickly. 20 points, it's now a margin. They've got to dig deep, the Force, but we see the brilliance than the boys in white.
Yeah, it's one-on-one missed tackles. It's the ability to let the Crusaders use the ball, continuity, offloads. The Force have to be tighter with 2 men into the tackle and control that ball. But it's just way too easy.
So, celebrate the try and then the conversion to follow. It's been clinical, Tony Lewis, in the second half so far from the Crusaders.
Oh, it certainly has, and Scotty Fader was just saying to me in the break, the Force just falling off a few tackles, and the communication's not great.
I think that stems from the set piece. The forwards are not working around the corner hard enough to fill in that defensive line. It's putting pressure on the backs, and it's contributing to those one-on-one missed tackles. And Drummond's off, and we've got Bryn Hall, another experienced Crusader, coming onto the field.
So much depth at this Crusaders club, as it has been for years, Scotty. One great player goes off, another great player comes on.
Oh, you just look at it. You get a guy like Andrew Mertens that retires, and Dan Carter comes through.
Yeah.
You got Ruben Thorne, captain, well, All Black captain, and in comes Kieran Reid, another All Black captain. It's amazing the depth and the quality of play they're producing through this this world club, best world club. They've won 8 titles.
It really is a centre of excellence for the game, isn't it? 8 Super Rugby titles, as you said. And I don't know how many ITM Cups and other competitions they've won, how many All Blacks they've produced. But slight forward pass there from Crusaders will get Western Force to put in at scrum time.
But that's the other thing too, and this is great about World Series Rugby, is that we've now got the opportunity to see potential next All Black coming through. Now that they've got this opportunity against the Western Force, and the Western Force, are we going to see the first Wallaby out of World Series Rugby coming out of this group? And that's what the beauty of this game is.
Oh, big scrum from the Crusaders. That's enormous. They have just pulverised the Western Force scrum for the penalty advantage, but Mataele with the kick ahead.
And you're talking about potential Wallabies. Kieran Longbottom was one of those, and talked about by Gordon Bray, by Wayne Smith, people who know a lot about this caper. Unfortunately, he's not playing tonight, nor did he play last game against the Rebels because of a neck injury. It's sort of fortunate for us. We're about to talk to Kieran, who's down on the bench in just a moment, to get a feel for how he's seeing this game and how he's coming along. I think Kieran's got the cans on right now. Are you with us, Kieran?
Hey lads, how you doing?
Hey, disappointing to see you there and not out on the park. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right. I picked up a disc bulge sort of coming into these games, and then I really aggravated it, sort of playing a bit of club. So yeah, it's just coming through. I've just got to take time. It's very frustrating. I came back here for one reason only, and that was to really be able to perform on the paddock out here. I'm playing from the Sea of Blue. So yeah, it's very frustrating, but I'm just aiming for the next game and to improve from there.
Kieran, Scotty Faber here, mate. How are you?
How you doing, mate?
Mate, those scrums, what's your take on it? Is there a bit of gamemanship from Mike Alatola out there?
Well,
what?
A few of them, and the first half, that last one wasn't very representative of everything that's happened before. We've had a good hit, but then I think our chase post that hit hasn't been great. We can hit and then chase through, win those inches. You can see that scrum we had down there on our goal line. Mate, if they attack there, we're in a heap of trouble. So we've done very well there. We've had some really good moments in this game. But yeah, just these little bits to improve on.
And so we're from here now, mate. What do we need to do out on the field to get back this deficit that we've got at the moment?
Well, I was hearing what you were saying before, and it was just those one-on-one tackles, or like just getting the 2 men in the tackle. In that, we need to trust our system and just get up and hit blokes. And then from there, from these moments like this, you take up opportunities and just keep the ball in hand.
Kieran, mate, thanks for that. Look forward to seeing you back out there soon, and maybe in a Wallabies jumper.
Hopefully. I mean, I got to play first, so yeah.
Good point. Good on you, mate. Kieran Longbottom, another one of the great leaders in the group of the Force, brings a lot to the park, but don't worry, he's not playing, but he's still contributing.
Well, another massive scrum from the Crusaders, but Chris Alcock, number 7 for the Force, done a terrific job. He's advanced the ball about 15 or 20 metres, Alcock. Here's Henry Stowers carting it up for the force. Pryor moves it along quickly. This Crusaders defence is very well organised. He can go from Johan Bardul. Here's Stowers again. Number 18 for the force is Tom Sheminant. He's replaced Chris Heiberg on the right side of the front row. Heath Tessman gets it away to Rocket Rod Davies. Where can he go? He's got nowhere to go. Ethan Blackadder's got him wrapped up.
Backwards.
Dunshay's in there as well. Still the force ball though. Here's Bardul. Well, fresh blood. Added a bit of zip now to this force attack. Here's Jeremy Thrush. Davies throws it wide. It's been intercepted by George Bridge though. You just can't do that against these Kiwi sides. There's the kick from Hall, and that'll dribble into touch.
Well, there was some really good play from the back row. Chrissy Alcock got us started. Stowers, I think, had 2 or 3 runs in a row, which is what we want from the forwards. We want them starting and generating and breaking the line and getting their shoulders through contact. But we lack support, and that's the big thing. These guys are getting half chances to get their arms open and getting some offloads away, but we're not there. We're not supporting behind, and we're not contributing to quicker ball for our backs to attack off.
Macaleo throws to Strange. Quick ball off the top for the Crusaders now. They charge into this force defensive line. Hall clears it quickly to Dunshade, first receiver. Well tackled by Stowers. Here's Strange. I reckon we'll see this young man in a black jersey before too long, guys. They keep working that right side. Oh, lovely handoff by Dak to Mataele. Crusaders, what can they do with it? The force has grabbed that ball and fallen on it.
Will they move it? Yeah, it's tough with a pass like that.
Yeah, not a great pass. Alcock takes it up. Now Ian Pryor barking some orders, fires it back to Deegan. Time enough for him to get the exit kick away.
And the substitutions continue. Heath Tessman's comes off. I'm not sure whether Andrew Forrest will go on. He has a lot to do with the Western Force. He's really the reason that they're out there. No, I reckon he's going to stay there and just continue to coach from the sidelines. And Heath's a very experienced footballer, but I'm not sure what he knows about business. I reckon he's getting a lesson right now.
Wouldn't it be good to have Twiggy at fullback? He'd be just barking orders from the back there. It would be so good.
Don't say it too loud.
Okay.
Careful what you wish for. He's been outstanding, and I'm talking about Heath now, not Twiggy. Andrew Forrest has done a lot, but so has Heath Tessman. And that's the thing about World Series Rugby. There are 10 substitutions, not the normal 8, so we will see a lot of the senior players from both teams coming off. I think Mitchell Drummond might have come off the captain for the Crusaders. We might see if we can grab him in a minute as well.
Number 19 for the Crusaders is Dalzell. Right side they go, Macaleo.
Knock on White.
Tried to hand it off to Mataele, but knock on by the Crusaders. Pryor wants it. Back it comes now for Deegan. They're going to try and run it out of there. I think they are. Here's Alcock. Lovely step. Peter Grant can't hang on to it. Fall into the hands of Dunshay though. Dakawaka trying to get hands on the ball. He can't do it.
Leave it! Off feet, leave it! Advantage is over.
Well, they fight so hard to get their hands on the ball and they just give it straight back to this Crusaders outfit. Oh, short ball to Tamani Valu. Pick and go from Dalzell. Only about 3 metres out now, the Crusaders. Looking for another 5-pointer.
No, 20.
Comes quickly for Hall. And short ball to number 13, I think that is Seta Tamani Valu. And all he's got to do is fall over from about 1.5 metres out. And the Crusaders rack up another try here at NIB.
So 35-8. It's getting a little bit untidy, but as we just mentioned there, Scotty, both teams using the bench, getting experience in some of the younger brigade, both teams.
Yeah, it's good for the guys that are on the bench. They're a bit nervous, and particularly for the force, coming up against the Crusaders, and that might not have had this opportunity before. So they'll be itching to get on the field, and they've got at least 20 minutes to do that.
Mitchell Hunt now to convert. He's certainly done his job. Western Force there, watching on. Well, they're not watching. They know he's going to do the business. And look at this. Look at the replay of this try. We bring all sorts of things to this sport, including the aerial view. You called it, Tony said he just had to drop over, and that's what we just saw. Great pictures.
That's an outstanding aspect from the drone, isn't it? That's wonderful.
That's great pictures. Hey, I mentioned that Mitchell Drummond's come off. I think Wyatt Crockett has too. We talk about great players from the Crusaders. From New Zealand, the most capped Super Rugby player of all time is Wyatt Crockett, the number 1. And he's got the headset on too to say good day. You there, Wyatt?
I'm here, lads. How you going?
Oh, mate, I'm going okay. We're pretty fresh. You look buggered. It's tough out there.
Yeah, it's a bit warmer than Christchurch at this time of the year. Yeah, no, it's a pretty free-flowing game, so us big boys are having to run around a bit.
Wyatt, Scott Faber here, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, buddy.
Mate, World Series Rugby, how much have you heard about it in New Zealand, and what's your thoughts in terms of the spectacle?
Yeah, we've heard a fair bit about it, actually. I think it's awesome to keep rugby going over here, and obviously they've done some things to try and make it a bit more exciting for the fans, which is awesome. And you know, hopefully it continues over here. And I hear about a lot of young players that are still coming through over here, which is awesome to see what it's all about.
And part of that is the rule changes. So obviously being a proficient scrummager as yourself, the 1-minute scrums, do you find that a good thing, or do you think it's something that could take away from the safety a little bit?
Oh no, I think it's a good thing. We all want to see a flowing rugby game. We don't want to see everyone standing around for too long scrummaging. So I think the emphasis is good to get the ball in, get some good scrummaging on, and get it out of there.
Hey Wyatt, you've played 200 games for the Crusaders. Have you ever commentated your team scoring a try? It might be about to happen.
Yeah,
if you look over to your left, you can call it for us.
Yeah, I think they might be going for a drive here, just quietly.
Well, keep going.
Oh, no. Opposition ball.
You don't want that. You don't want the ball in those blokes in the blue. That would have been brilliant. This is your last season. You might end up in the commentary box. You have retired, haven't you? You are 35 after all.
Yeah, I'm playing for Tasman in the Mitre 10 Cup back home, up in Nelson there, and there for the next couple of years. So just got an exciting into the season here with the Crusaders, which is got to get past that first.
Well, mate, it's been a great career, and well done. Obviously, you want to get a title back-to-back this year, so mate, congratulations. Well done, and get out there and have fun with the rest of the season.
Thanks very much, lads. It's good to come over here and play my last game in Australia over here. And you know, I've always enjoyed coming over here and playing against some quality players, and so thank you.
Good on you, Wyatt. Wyatt Crockett there. Been such a wonderful player for the Crusaders for such a long time. I mentioned the most capped player of all time in Super Rugby. And you're right, there's no reason why this team that are really starting to dominate the Force at the moment, we can see it up close like this, won't go on to do it again, Scotty. They've won 12 of 14. They're well clear on the Super Rugby table, and they've won 8 times in the last 20 years. There's no reason why they won't win 9.
Yeah, they're a quality team, mate. And that's... Force can learn a lot of lessons from this game, and this is why it's great for them to be able to have this encounter, go against the Crusaders in this battle. And it's good for the Crusaders as well. They could have been back home playing club rugby in the mud. Instead, they've put the boys together, played World Series Rugby, and really gave it the spectacle it is.
And Tony Lewis, you know a little bit more than you did previously about number 17, Cameron Orr, and number 22, Harrison Orr of the Western Force, after we saw that little feature with them and Deeks. They're both on now, the boys.
Fantastic. Great to see them taking the field, the Orr brothers. I have known about their career for the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, and very, very promising young rugby players of the Orr brothers. So be looking forward to watching them go around this evening.
Scotty, what do you think about the mo that Harry's wearing? He says you've got to change it up, mate. That's what he reckons.
Can you call it awesome?
I don't think you can, but I think you just did.
No, that's pretty good, mate. That's actually not too bad at all. Well done. You're on fire, Mr. Faber.
Meantime, back at the ranch.
I hope they play awesome too.
Crusaders tricky at line-out time. Dalzell stopped the metre shy. The penalty, they give away the penalty to the Force. So the Force breathe again. Hamish Dalzell ping for not releasing.
14 blue, first man.
Big Mussy Dakawaka forcing the turnover and saving the day for the Western Force.
How good is it having Mussy in the team? Like, I don't know if anyone knows it, but Mussy is blind in one eye. And to play rugby in general is tough enough as it is, but he's doing it with a disability. And look at him go. You know, he's won a gold medal for Fiji. What a trooper. This is awesome to see him out there.
No, he's so excited to be part of this team. He gives his absolute all, just like we saw there. Each and every training session, each and every day, he turns up. He's really loving this. He loves tape. Apparently, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but he puts a bit of tape on parts of his body. Sometimes it doesn't even need it. He just loves the feel of having the tape on the body.
Mate, he'll be feeling good once he rips it off.
Andrew Deegan with the kick. Hasn't worked out well. It's been picked up, though, by Mussy Dakawaka.
Advantage to blue.
So still forced ball. Oh, here's Cameron Orr. Good run.
Look at him go.
Good run. Chris Alcock's there. Pick and go from Harry Orr. Another penalty advantage for the Force. Here's Tom Shemanen. Well stopped by Dalzell, though. Deegan this time. Finds Peter Grant. Not a great ball. And we'll go back for the Force penalty.
Just there.
Look at this.
This is great. Cameron Orr's introduction to the Western Force. Nice little half break there.
He's a little haircut for the game as well.
That's superb.
Power.
At least he's got hair.
A power athlete. There's some great athletes out on the park. There are some good athletes too watching on. Have a look at that. The West Coast Eagles boys are here again. Luke Shuey and Nick Natanui. He loves it. He's been here just about every game the Western Force has played. Particularly excited about Fiji early on. The West Coast Eagles boys could have played a little bit better last night up the road against Essendon, but that's another story.
Yeah, they wouldn't be happy losing it at home. I was from my beautiful view from my Aloft Hotel, I was able to see the ground off the stadium, and it was lit up. It was awesome. What a great stadium.
It's a beautiful stadium. Leon Power has replaced Jeremy Thrush in the pack as Peter Grant's touch finder has pushed the Force deep into the Crusaders 22. Can the Force respond with a 5-pointer here? Faleti Kaitu'u with the ball at the back. The forwards get them all on here. Need to keep their structure. They just keep their structure here and keep going forward. Kaitu'u's done. Kaitu'u's been isolated though. He's going to have to go himself. There's no way through there. Very slow coming for the Force though. Pick and go from Bardul's not successful. Here's Shemanen now. Oh, taken low by Douglas. Great tackle by Fitu Douglas. Here's Leon Power.
22 whites or
Pryor wants it. Double cut ball pass from him. Another penalty advantage for the Force.
Tap and go, Pryor's going.
Hands off to Power. Leon Power very close.
Oh. Advantage, knock on blue.
Well, Kaitu'u wanted to go himself. Probably wasn't the right idea though, because he's knocked it on. So now the Crusaders looking to run it out of there, and it's
no advantage.
Ball's gone dead. So we'll go back for a scrum.
This is what the Western Force have got to do. They've got to trust themselves, trust the process they've got in place, and the work they do in tight and moving into that wide game. And it just seems like a few individuals making the wrong decisions. They're getting a bit excited, and it's making it hard for the rest of the team. So you look at those opportunities, he should have probably waited for support and moved into action.
Look at that great picture there. We get a look at the tactics there as the Force boys to the top right hand of the screen, just getting themselves sorted. You get an idea of how they're going to play this one. It's an amazing bird's eye view. We're looking down at NIB Stadium here, World Series Rugby Game 4. It has been all the Crusaders, particularly in the second half. They lead 37-8. There might be something brewing here for the boys in blue.
Well, if you look at the setup from the good old drone, there's a bit of a right side play that could be on here for the Crusaders.
Oh, there's Westy, the Western Force mascot, just taking it easy in the crowd. He's only getting paid half pay if he's sitting in the crowd.
Sitting next to a very shy Crusaders fan. Well, there's an opportunity now for the Force defence to really make an impact and force an error from the Crusaders. Douglas off the back, hands off to Hall. He'll kick for touch. And that's the standard exit play from this Canterbury Crusaders team.
But well executed. They've now put the force back in between the 40 and 50 metre line. It's a bit of launch play here, but once again they've got to go to their processes. Really good in tight, and Andrew Deegan's got to lead these guys around the field.
You worry about your backyard.
A bit banged up, the Crusaders. They're going to go home with the victory, but that's what this sport's all about.
There's the knock on there from the force.
They are some of the toughest athletes you would see as we look at the knock-on. We talk about Wyatt Crockett, 200 caps for the Crusaders. He's only missed about 4 games, he says, and that's not because he doesn't get injured. It's because he's just tough and just fronts up again. It is a different breed.
It definitely is. The big Croczilla, it's his nickname.
Croczilla.
Mate, yeah, just let me have the chat there and then come up, hey? I can't do 2 things at once. Yeah, thank you.
That's what Scotty's wife says.
Time
Can't
back
do 2
on.
things at once. Will Houston says, just let me talk and then I'll deal with that.
I don't think I'll be the Lone Ranger there, mate.
I used your name, I just I've used anyone.
It's time the penalty goes to Canterbury.
Loose head. Down.
Once against Cameron Orr. Mike Delaney with the kick for touch. Very, very effective touch finder from Delaney.
So this is a good opportunity for the Force boys that have come on the field. They've got to bring energy, and that's what teams need from your bench. Look at that, all boys in together. Bit of chat out there.
Brodie McAllister's line-out throw hasn't gone well for Canterbury. Chris Alcock swoops on it.
Maul!
But the maul's been called. They need to get the ball to the deck and get it out, or they're going to turn over possession here. Canterbury knows that.
Still going forward.
And they're very, very effectively shutting it right down.
Unplayable.
No chance to get that out. Great defence from Canterbury Crusaders.
There's a few of those Crusader boys. Hayden Bedwell-Curtis. He's had a good year for the Crusaders.
We've spoken a little bit about the Crusaders and the brilliance of the Kiwis. Well, the Western Force have one of their own, Jeremy Thrush, who's joined the squad, of course. He's played his first game and he's off for a spell. Danny Orlando's with him.
Jeremy enjoying a much-deserved break right now. What's it like being out there in your new colours?
Oh, it's good. It's a real good experience. Awesome atmosphere out there with the crowd, and it's a bit quicker than what I was playing in the UK, so the lungs are feeling a little bit,
And did you expect to see such an amazing, 14,000 strong crowd for your first World Series Rugby match?
No, it's awesome. It's such a great support for the Western Force. I was a little bit surprised with how many people have shown up. It's awesome,
WA fans are excited to have you on board. Enjoy the rest of the series, Jeremy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Brad Lacey doing some defence for the Western Force. Huge hit on Tamanu Valu from Lacey.
Yeah, I think he's injured too. But it was a great hit. That's what you want to see from the centres.
Mitch Dunshay's isolated. Still gets the ball back for the Crusaders as they move into the Force 22. Here's McAllister. Out it comes to Chris King. George Bridge with a touch. Hall gets it away quickly. Western Force defence staunch at the moment. Mitchell Hunt tackled low. Ball looks left, goes right. Hands off to Delaney. Just inside the 22 it goes. Here's Dalzell. Taken down by Cameron Orr. Comes back to McAllister again. Quick recycle by Canterbury, trying to get it wide. Victor Douglas with the ball now. He's been hammered in the tackle by Henry Taifu. And they forced the turnover, the Western Force. Oh, Deegan had to flick it on to Rod Davies. Davies with the kick, but that one's gone straight out. Well, Andrew Deegan was about to get smashed in the tackle. Did well to just flick that on.
There was some good concentrated pressure from the Force.
Oh,
yes,
bang.
Lacey. And a bit of steel in their defence.
Do you need time off?
And when they came up and they worked together, we saw that that's where the turnover occurred.
Brad Lacey from the Western Scarborough Rugby Club here in Perth, as is AJ Alatimu.
Probably. But the first issue I had was...
Look at Big Van Humphries running out there, running the water for the boys. It's great to see a coach in that position, getting in close with the lads and giving them a bit of information.
Yeah, great to see Van over here, giving his vast experience as assistant coach to the Force. Always grab some more. It's pretty warm here in Perth this evening.
When you're ready, guys.
Oh, it's been great conditions for rugby. It's been awesome. You see, from the first try, being the first ever World Series
Well, we've
Rugby
still got blue water.
power try.
Yeah, it's been a historical night. The first power try, the kick for cash. The cash went off. Outstanding.
It's all
Time
happening.
back on.
The ball for Dalzell at line out time. They're just lining up. Look at the numbers for these Crusaders. Just lining up. Everybody wants a touch. Still the Western Force. Force another turnover. Tom Sheminan picks up the scraps. Need a halfback. Alcott will do that.
Okay, they can't be flustered here. They've got to start working towards getting some structure so they get him behind the line. They can't just throw it around.
Deegan thinks about it. Little pop over the top to Davies.
Advantage in the air.
Runs straight into Mitchell Hunt. Draws the penalty as well.
Oh, big Yogi Bear.
There's Bardul. Good run from him. Peter Grant plays halfback. Little kick. Deegan has been picked up by Rocket Rod. Davies needs to get into the clear. Rounded up by George Bridge though. Where are the Force? Pryor gets it away to Alcock on the burst. Sheminant's there to help him. Good clean out by Tom Sheminan. Oh, the knock on by the Western Force. Well, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was just a little one there from Alcock. Just couldn't control it when he hit the ground.
Sure it was there.
What a kick. Rocket Rod. Finally we see him in action, out in the open. That's what we want to see from our wingers.
Do you ready to stop or just get a breakfast? Okay, let's go.
Pause there as there's some treatment off the ball from Sheminan. Sucking in the big ones. We've got the best seat in the house, but back to those black seats there. That's Stephen Morahan, the general manager of a loft hotel in Perth, enjoying the game with his wife, as he should, one of the partners of World Series Rugby. Great to have them on board. They are fantastic seats, and anyone can have them, Scotty. You can have them, Tone. You can have them too. It costs you, well, it costs you a little bit. But you're sitting there, you're getting all the hospitality. You can get right involved. You know, it's up to you, bloke.
Oh, best seats in the house. And you're rubbing shoulders with all the boys.
I'd have to call half a dozen games before I could afford that.
He's paying you.
When you're ready, guys, let's go.
Westy's in the crowd trying to spark up these Crusader fans as well. Let him go.
Donald Brighouse there, trying to get his boys, keep his boys going. They've got a big lead, 37-8. A 29-point lead for the Crusaders, but they want more with that 8.5 minutes to go here at NIB.
Clay Ewan on the field for the Western Force. Scored his first try for the Force a couple of games ago. Peter Grant is now having a rest.
All goes left. You get it to Tamani Valu. Had a good game for them. Well taken low by Lacey, though. Number 23 for the Crusaders is Sam Beard. Delaney shovels it onto feet to Douglas.
Miss 20!
Well, Johan
Rush
Bardul
forward
doing
too
his
late.
best. Just couldn't keep his feet, though.
Look how strong this kid is. 13. Bang, one off, two off, offload.
Valu, just one of many of the Crusaders that just, I suppose it's part of their preparation. They've been in this program for a long time. The Western Force started, of course, in March as a group. They just are a better and stronger unit at this stage. But World Series Rugby, we know what it's all about. The Crusaders have brought it. They've brought the fast scoring, the free-flowing game. It's full-on footy. It's fantastic.
And they're enjoying themselves out there. You can see there's a few smiles. You see Crockett on the sideline. He knows that World Series Rugby is something different, and it's revolutionising rugby as it is.
Well, the atmosphere is fantastic. Andrew Deegan with a good tackle there. Brodie McAllister taking it up now for Canterbury. Ball gets it away to Douglas.
Advantage,
Quick
offside.
recycle, penalty advantage now against the Western Force. There's the kick.
Oh, look at that.
The far tried to flick one behind the back. Did Tima Whainga-Anuku.
They're entertaining, aren't they?
Oh, that would have been sensational.
In line with me, mate. Yep.
Blue player offside, playing 9.
Clay Ewan makes the tackle. Whainga-Anuku just tries to get it behind his back. Just couldn't do it, though.
And the look on his face, Tima disappointed he's not going to make the highlight package because he couldn't make the pass stick. I reckon we put him in it anyway. That was just thrilling. Look at the look on the face.
Tommy Balu would have been away down the sideline.
Okay, let's head into the stands. We talked about it, a big crowd here and a lot of Kiwis. Sam, you're in amongst them.
Yep, no worries.
You're on there, mate. You're in amongst the Kiwis.
Hey, I'm in the stands here with Sheldon and his daughter. Guys, you put a little bit of effort into the costume.
A little bit of effort.
Legal
when the Crusaders come to town once in a blue moon, you have to, dress up for the occasion.
You're looking good, and so's your team, guys.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff.
Sam said he'd go his best Kiwi joke if we put him in the crowd. I think he's wussed it. We might give him another opportunity in a moment, Tone, unless you want to roll one out.
I know. No, my Kiwi jokes aren't fit for television, my friend.
Oh, good turnover.
Well done by the Western Force. They earned the turnover. And Chris Alcock.
He deserves that. He's been putting pressure at that tackle contest, Chrissy. But that's what I love about the WA crowd. There's a lot of expats, Kiwis,
Holding on 7
people
blue on the ball.
UK, Poms, South Africans. But they'll come to the Western Force game and they'll be patriotic and wear the Western Force jersey underneath their team that's playing. So if you see all those Crusader jerseys out there, just have a look. There's a Western Force jersey right underneath.
Another big crowd here, big numbers, 50,000. We'll get the crowd figure any second, I reckon. There 50,000 had been to the first 3 games in total.
There's Dalzell right on the 22 for Canterbury now. Patiently going through the phases. Number 20 is Hugh Renton. Around the corner comes Douglas. Oh, here go the Crusaders again. Oh, it must be a try down the far side.
Oh, he's held him up.
Did he get it down? No, the try's been given, I think. Yeah, referee Hurston's given the try to Tima Whainga-Anuku on the right side down there. Well, once again, they're finding space down the edge, and Tima Whainga-Anuku gets the try.
So 42-8, the score after that one, Tony. Well called and great football.
Well, Tima, look at him. After the flick pass that nearly resulted in the try, just moments beforehand, he's taken this ball and said, I'm going all the way.
That was a great run from Sam Beard too. He was the one that made the initial break.
There it is, up close and personal. You know how good he is. We saw it a moment ago. So the Crusaders march onward, and now the conversion to come. Look at the score up the top left, not so much the football, 42-8. It's been a better game than that.
Has indeed.
It has been a better game than that. The Force have done well in patches.
And they've shown that what an experience, what a concise, precise team can do out of the field. And they'll learn a lot about this game and what they can do better from a preparation point of view into an execution point of view. So as we watch Mitchell Hunt taking another conversion, question to you boys, what's the greatest drop goal ever?
I'd say Stephen Larkins at the '98 World Cup, but I'd probably be wrong.
Well, as an Australian, I would say that. Against South Africa, yeah, 99 World Cup. But over in New Zealand, they say it's this guy, Mitchell Hunt.
There is the crowd. We did say we'd get it. We were due to get it. Another big number, 14,259 fans in the house for the Crusaders and the Western Force. Game 4 of World Series Rugby, of course, there's still 3 to go, and the sporting fans of Western Australia, I think, will continue to come in great numbers. So that beats the Rebels crowd from a couple of weeks ago behind the Fiji sellout and the second game against Tonga on Mother's Day.
Well done, Perth. Deegan takes the Crusaders kick. And the drop goal that you're referring to, when did that happen, Scotty Faber?
Well, last year, Crusaders v Highlanders, and play went for about 2 minutes in overtime, and Mitchell Hunt has hit a 48-metre drop goal. And the New Zealanders claim it's the greatest ever drop goal in rugby.
Here's Isaac Fines with a good break for the Force. Hands off the rocket, Rod Davies into space. Delaney's there to try and stop him. Steps him easily. Over he goes. Did he get it down? Oh, referee Houston's going to have a look at it.
Oh, it's great to see him in flight. Rocket Rod down the sideline.
He easily outstepped
TMO Kyle.
So we're going to the team mode here.
On-field decisions, no try. I believe the players lost it forward. Can you confirm otherwise?
Okay, so maybe Rocket can tell us whether he thinks it's a try. Sam, you're with the man himself right now. Go, Sam.
Hey, mate, they're going to review that, but it's going to be feeling good getting something late in the game.
It is, mate. Boys went trying hard today, but they're a good team, and we're just trying to hang in there a moment.
It's on the big screen now if you want to go have a look there.
Okay, what do you reckon, boys?
I think Seta Tamani Valu's done a great job of defence there, and he's prevented that try.
Oh.
I don't know. There might have been a fingertip there.
You can go with your on-field decision. No try, knock on.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah,
okay.
no control.
No try.
No joy for Rod Davies and the Western Force. That's a shame.
We went up with the crowd who I think agreed that this game deserved a better scoreboard than that. Certainly the Force deserved it. But again, we just keep talking about it. We are watching, we said it off the top, one of the great sporting franchises in the last 20 years in not just world rugby, but world sport. You know, 8 Super Rugby championships in the last 20 years, the favourite to make it a 9th one. Their depth has been tested tonight in terms of their players that have been out injured and the players away with the All Blacks, but they can do it at both ends.
Well, you've got to respect the hustle of this Crusaders team. Tamani Valu hustling back in defence there, even though they've got such a big lead, and preventing the Force from scoring.
And that's what great teams are made of. It's that working together, you've got your mates back, and you do everything you can to help the team get the result you want. And even though the result's done, that's the do-or-die attitude of the Crusaders. And the Western Force, look, they're trying hard, and they're out there putting pressure on it and trying to get another try.
It's the kick from Delaney. Well taken by Masi Dakawaka. Hesitates. Goes straight at the middle. Not held, so he gets up and goes again. Isaac Fines clears it quickly. Deegan moves it on, but they can't hang on to the pill. Another mistake there from the Force. Henry Taifu dropping the ball on that occasion.
Second to crack. Second crack.
Another indiscretion at the breakdown.
You can just see the disappointment on the bench. The guys know that if they can just eliminate those errors and put some pressure with the ball in hand, this result could have been a little bit different. But let's see the mettle of these reserves that are now on the field for the Force and see if they can repel this last attack from the Crusaders.
And it will be the last attack too. I think this will probably be the last set piece of the game, fellas. Full time on our clock. Clean ball once again at line-out time for Canterbury. They put it through the hands.
Oh, the machine again. Masi the machine.
Masi Dakawanga with a huge hit on the Canterbury ball, on the ball carrier, but still their ball. Delaney. Delaney goes himself. Here's Hamish Dalzell. They offload it. Lovely step there from Mitch Hunt. But the Force hard on the ball.
Out.
They need to get it out. Another penalty
20.
goes to the Crusaders.
Must join them all from behind.
And once against Johan Bardul.
Will they go for 50 here? Come on, it's World Series Rugby. Let's tap. Oh, scrum. Good.
Scrum is called. The real opportunity for them to crack the half-ton here, fellas.
Yeah, they'll be going for it too. We know that. They're really going for it. They've averaged, I think, 35 points a game in Super Rugby this year and winning 12 of their 14 games. 31 has been their average. Averaged 18 against. Have only given up 8 tonight, the Crusaders.
It is their defence that is going to propel them to the championships this year. And they've shown that tonight, and that's going to continue on for the last leg of their Super campaign.
Douglas off the back, and it goes to Hunt. Tamani Valu taken well in the tackle by Clay Ewan. Still Crusaders ball there. Huge hit by Cameron Orr. Still Canterbury trying to get it done though in the dying stages of this one. Number 25 is Caleb Makene. They're just inside the Force 22. They'd love to score 50 here tonight. Oh, inside ball to number 22. Hands off to Bedwell Curtis.
Knock on lights.
But the knock on by Canterbury will see the full-time whistle here at NIB Stadium tonight.
Full-time.
And that's going to be a 44 points to 8 victory to the Canterbury Crusaders. They put on a clinic here tonight. The Force weren't embarrassed by any stretch, but that is a large margin of victory. 44 to 8, Canterbury wins it.
So there you go, World Series Rugby. Game 4 goes to the Crusaders. They were imposing. They were what we thought they would be. They were brilliant, really. There's no other way to say it. The Force did fight it out to the very, very end. I'm going to go out in amongst them and try and talk to a couple of the winners and the losers as well in this one. Again, played in great spirit. Again, that's the New Zealand way, Scotty. They get on with business.
Yeah, they do. They're so clinical, this Crusaders team, and it's very different from last week against the Rebels, where there was a lot of emotion within that game. This week, you've got a team that knows what they're doing. Everyone backs each other, and they showed the result tonight.
Okay, well, I think we can get down with the Crusaders now and say to Manavalu wearing the number 13 jersey, who played such a good game with Danny.
Seta, congratulations on the win. Now tell me, you've had a few days here in Perth. What's it been like so far?
Yeah, we had a good week in Perth. We got here on Tuesday night. Yeah, the weather's been good. It's better than home, so the boys are enjoying the trip. Then yeah, it's a good night to play some footy tonight.
Absolutely. Now, World Series Rugby, it's fast-paced, it's high-scoring. What exactly was the experience like? It must have been great seeing some of the big Crusaders fans here as well.
Yeah, the new rules are pretty challenging as well. It's fast, like you said, and yeah, it's pretty challenging today. For the 9 points, trying to get the 9 points is pretty hard as well. So yeah, but it's good for the game of footy.
And what do the next few weeks hold for you guys?
Yeah, we're gonna head home tonight and head a week off, and wait for our boys come back from All Blacks trip. Then we go again for 2 more games, New Zealand Derby.
Okay, well, good luck for the rest of your season. Over to Sam Longley now.
Thank you.
So, Andrew, probably not the result you were hoping for. What are we going to take away from tonight's game?
Yeah, obviously, as you said, not the result, but plenty of positives still. We knew playing Crusaders are a quality franchise. They have been for many years. And we knew we were going to have our backs against the wall. It's good to see at times that we made some solid line breaks with Rocket Rod down the sideline there. It's rapid, but it's just the quality of Crusaders keep going. As soon as we make a mistake, they capitalised on it.
Now, Jeremy Rush's Thrush's first game, how did he fit in?
Yeah, I thought he was outstanding. Our line out was solid most times. I think he was collapsing a few mauls in there somehow. Don't know how that works, but no, he was unreal, especially as a 10, talking to line out core. Really positive and a great experience for us.
Great. Well, thanks very much. Good luck with Game 5 against Samoa.
Andrew Deegan there, he certainly played his part. He worked to the very, very end. So that's the end of Game 4. We've got more. Stick with us. 44-8 the final score. The Crusaders winning World Series Rugby Game 4 by 36 points.